Being married to an entrepreneur is hard work, but it's worth it when it works.
You got your hands full every day like I do. You got kids, you got a marriage that you're trying to work, a business that you're trying to make work.
And finding time for the kids and keeping it spontaneous. Boy, that was good last night.
Nobody teaches you how to manage a business or manage a relationship or marriage. Everybody's just trying to do the best that they can. The purpose of the show is to give you some tools on how to make the marriage and the business work. We don't do it perfect, but we're figuring it out.
Beautiful Adelina Cardone.
Hello.
I'm Grant Cardone. We're here every week talking to you about marriage
and
love,
the business
romance,
of marriage.
When the two collide.
When the two worlds collide.
How do you make them both work all the time?
It ain't easy.
See, we're committed. We're committed to marriage and relationship, and we want you to be. We believe in those things. We believe in monogamy.
We do, and we believe it's worth fighting for.
Yeah, dude. And we want you to. We want you to fight for it. Before you give up on it, man, at least fight for it. Okay, If you're going to give up on it, a lot of people give it up on it.
Takes work. Nobody wants to work.
What doesn't take work?
Everything good takes work.
Yeah, like you have kids. You know.
Takes work.
Huh?
Takes a lot of work.
They were working you this morning, weren't they?
Oh yeah. Woo.
You love them, but I tell you what, you had that look in your eye this morning, and then
I'm
sitting there complaining about you not making me breakfast,
which is not true.
No, you're great.
You know
what?
Because you know what it is.
You're great until you're not.
I ask you, I'm like, hey, you want eggs for breakfast? And you tell me no. So then I make you pancakes. I make you 4. You eat 1.
Yeah.
And then I make your protein drink. And then you come like a few days later, and you're like, you never feed me. You never feed me. And I'm like, how about when I asked you? When I ask you, you tell me, hey, yay on the eggs, or I want oatmeal. But you're not my other little baby, even though I know you like to think you are.
I'm your baby daddy.
Okay? You're the baby daddy.
I'm your baby daddy.
That's right. You are just my baby daddy.
I take care of you. But the question is,
so
how did I get you?
So don't make me pull it out of you on how to feed you and then complain that I don't.
Okay.
But I like this collar. It looks good on you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, folks, we appreciate you joining here today.
How did you get me, by the way?
We're going to talk about that today. How to be persistent without being a pest.
Stalkerish.
How to pursue the target, run it down, hunt it down.
Without being the stalker.
Without being the stalker. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about today. So every week we come to you to talk about your marriage, your relationship. Maybe you're a single person trying to find the right person, girl or guy. Or maybe you're in a relationship and you're trying to figure out, man, how do I keep this thing exciting? We know that, like, we're committed to all of it. I want to commit to having a great business that works. And I was a single guy for a long time with a lot of financial and business success, but didn't have the right girl. And I was very, very unhappy. And you were a successful actress working in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But you were lonely.
Yeah.
Right?
I was. I'm still mad at you for not finding me sooner. Had I known what it is to be an entrepreneur in my 20s, I would have been like, wow, life would have been so much easier for me in the 20s.
But don't you think there's
Why did you wait so darn long?
Because I didn't have my pitch down. I didn't know how to get your attention.
Well,
so
hopefully we can inspire some other people out there so they don't have to wait so long.
Yeah, you want to tell the story about how I found out your number. I got it from a
director. We were working on a movie set in Los Angeles. It was the first thing you had ever worked on, first job you had ever worked on.
Yeah.
And I believe I met you in the trailer.
Yeah, it was. It was like 11:30 at night.
Yeah, it was
in L.A.
late.
First time I'd been to L.A., downtown L.A.
And I didn't act.
So, Hottie,
my
stand
scene
up,
was you.
stand up. Let the audience see what I saw.
Oh, baby.
That's what I saw. I'm like, whoa, man. I said, I didn't know whether she was an actress on the deal or I thought maybe.
He thought I was an executive producer.
By the way, if you're listening to this on
night.
iTunes or Stitcher, you didn't just get to see the hot package. If you're watching this on Ustream or YouTube, that's why you want to subscribe to YouTube, is because you get to see the glory. The reason for the next
after 10 years, I'm going to give myself a pat on the back.
Dude, 2 kids, stand up again.
Oh, geez. Well,
you guys on iTunes and Stitcher and Audible.com, you guys are missing this show right now. Oh my gosh, check that out. So here she was. She's in a trailer. It's 11:30 at night, downtown L.A. First time I'd been there. I literally moved from La Jolla, California to L.A. I hadn't even settled in. I was actually staying in and out of a hotel at the time, and I went there for one reason, to find the girl of my dreams, to find a girl
he knew she
I could
wasn't
marry.
in La Jolla because he had been through all those girls. But
No, all the
Who's
girls in
keeping
San
record of
Diego
that?
County, all the way up to San Marcos, all the way out to San Ramon, all the way almost to Vegas, man. Anyway, should we stay focused here?
Yes.
So I meet this chick. I'm like, oh, she's the one, man. She's the one. I knew immediately, like, she's the one. She's it. So I go make my first run at her, and she's fluffs me off. I mean, like, I was not even there. And then I grabbed Mitch Brisker. Mitch was the director on this commercial that was being done, commercial movie. And I said, Mitch, I need the chick's name. What's the chick's name? I can't give that to you, man. It's against SAG.
Yes.
SAG regulations.
Screen Actors Guild.
And I'm like, hey, Mitch, dude, I don't care what regulations. I need a name and I need a number. I think the chick told me her name's Elena or something. I didn't get the last name and I need a phone number. You can give it to me now, Mitch. You can give it to me later. You can write it down, leave it on. I don't care how you do it, bro, but give it to me. I need it because this is the package. See, have you ever got excited? Did you ever see a guy like that as a girl? I wonder, how do girls do this?
Oh, yeah, I did one time, and it was the worst nightmare relationship ever. But
you approached the guy?
Let me just tell you how it happened. I was the next door neighbor, and I had a guy roommate at the time, but we were friends, and we never did the hooky dookie. Never did.
Right.
Best friend Nick Wright at the time.
You never help a guy?
Anyway, no, he was like my brother. That's disgusting. Okay, not that he's disgusting.
You're from Louisiana.
So anyway, I saw this guy I wanted to see who my neighbors were. So I looked through the people.
My brother always took care of me.
I looked through the people. That's disgusting. And he would not appreciate that. And you're getting a toilet potty mouth for that. So anyway, I looked through the people.
Me and my twin brother slept in the same bed until we were
around.
15 years old, by the way.
That's just weird. That's just plain weird and creepy. So how did you end up getting me? Anyway, I looked through the people, turned around. Nick said, what happened? And I said, I am in love. And he thought I was ridiculous. But I was in love. I fell in love.
Nick? You were in love
not
with
Nick. I looked through the people and I saw the guy, the next door neighbor. And it was instantaneous love at first sight. I was madly in love.
Yeah. And then when you found out he was gay.
No, he wasn't gay. Then we had a relationship, and then he got hooked on crystal meth, and then he went to prison, and it was the worst relationship ever.
This is Ramoyne?
No, Fido.
Oh my God.
Okay, who lied to me and told me his name was David.
When we come back, we're going to be talking to you about how you can find the target of your dreams and then persist on it, whether you're male or female. My name's Grant Cardone. This is Elena Cardone. You're on the G&E show. We here to show you how to keep the relationship that you so desire.
There are 7 billion people in the world. Who are you? How are you different?
7 billion people on planet Earth. There's a small portion of them that want greatness.
Seller Be Sold, book and audio package.
You can't get away from this idea that you just have to sell more.
Voted the #1 business sales book by Axiom Gold Awards. Now, for the first time ever, in audio, read by Grant Cardone. If you want to get your way in business and in life, call 800-368-5771. Seller Be Sold, book and audio package. Call 800-368-5771 today.
One thing, closing a transaction is something completely different.
If you don't close, you lose. Stop losing. Start closing deals. Make the decision. Discover over 100 ways to ink the deal.
Got to be able to ask for the close in several different ways.
Your job isn't complete until your customer has taken delivery of your product or service.
My job is to help the client make a decision.
Call 800-368-5771 for the Closer Survival Guide book and audio package today.
Your money is in closing a deal. And recommit to your career. Recommit to your profession. Understand the rules of closing a deal.
The Closer Survival Guide book and audio package. Call 800-368-5771. Call 800-368-5771 and start closing today.
Unlock the secrets to unlimited achievement and wealth. The Wealth Creation Kit is the ultimate program that shows you exactly how to take massive action in your life so that you can have the success that you want and deserve. Grant Cardone, New York Times bestselling author, entrepreneur, and international sales expert, provides the tools needed to shift your attitude into nonstop, positive action to help you find financial freedom. This kit includes 3 programs, a $4,000 value with over 10 hours of dynamic content delivered by Grant Cardone himself. Learn to dominate your market, follow the rules of success, and apply the 10X rule to every aspect of your life. Order yours at grantcardone.com/wealth or call 800-368-5771. That's 800-368-5771.
Back at the G&E show. Caught you off guard there, didn't it, buddy?
You know what I'm typing? I'm texting or emailing Stephen G. Interiors by Stephen G.
My
Are they
favorite.
good? Is that a good team?
Yeah, it's really good because you might not know this, but I actually already hired them to do the interior of our new condo.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think he's fabulous. So I'm glad you're writing him because I'm actually one step ahead of you on that. But you know what I want to get to really quickly, and then I want to pick up this conversation about how we met. But I want to get to, I just saw the commercial for the wealth creation package that you have.
Yeah.
And it reminded me that actually when you first started pursuing me, that was actually a turnoff for me, that I felt like you were this kind of wealthy, kind of arrogant guy.
Get whatever I want.
Yes.
Shark.
I've told you this before.
Killer.
That like you thought you could just like buy girls.
Roll up,
and you know what?
roll
I
up
had
in my
been
new
living in
car.
Los Angeles for over 15 years at the time. And I was like, you know what? Been there, done that. I don't need a man to buy me. I make my own success. I don't need somebody to
This is a good
try
sign,
to
though.
enslave me.
This is a good
by,
sign.
like,
When I knew you were turned off by
buying
my
me.
money, that was a good sign. Okay, because I knew, oh, she's a quality chick, dude. She's not, because but I was a little concerned because I'm like, oh, maybe she's not a gold digger. For you ladies out there to think all guys don't like gold diggers, not true. I wanted a gold digger.
How could you want a gold digger?
Because I want a woman that's actually interested in money.
But the
'Cause
connotation
once-
of gold digger means that they're
that's-
after your money and not you.
Well,
You
that's-
need a partner that loves you
Well,
and also appreciates the money.
I know, but you weren't interested in that. So you see, you were turned off by it. So I'm like, okay, but is she actually
true or
interested in
false,
wealth
were-
creation?
Were you
Stay
a
with
little
me.
arrogant at that time?
I'm still arrogant.
Well, that's true. That's true. Okay,
You know,
was
but
I
I got
what?
the goods to back it up. So what is that? What is that? That's just reality. That's not
That's
arrogance.
just confidence, certainty.
You know, Muhammad Ali used to say, he says, I knew I was the greatest before anybody else knew it. So you got to put it out there, man. You got to have some swag. If you want to reach up and not down, like that's what I saw. I said, oh my God, she's the chick. She's the one. She's the one I'm going to marry. I called my mom the next day and said, I met the woman I'm going to marry. She's going to have my children, but she doesn't like me. What do I do, Mom? And my mom's like, well, she takes 2. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. Look, I want wealth. That wealth creation package that you were talking about, it's not about just money.
What do you mean? Back up. You can't just
it's about-
slide
it's
by.
about-
It takes 2, and then like not elaborate on that. What do you mean? I've
mom
always
said,
been
look,
taught it takes 2.
My mom said,
it does
look,
take 2.
Yeah, my mom said if she's not interested in you, Grant, you can't make that happen. I'm like, oh no, that's not true. It takes one person. I need to be completely convinced. This is why people don't get the relationship they want. I need to be completely convinced that you're the right one so I can continue to pursue you and persist without being a pest.
No, without being
Even
a
though you-
stalker, because you were a little pesty
But
in the
I always
beginning,
say-
but
I always
never
say-
stalkerish.
But it was pest to you. It was pest. And it's
that
not
doesn't
stalking if
matter?
it works. You know what it is? If you give up, it's quitting. Period. That's the only thing people need to know. When you find the girl or the guy, and I'm sure it's hard for girls to pursue guys just because of all this stuff.
Yeah.
But we can even talk about that. In fact, you know what? I'm going to
I'm
hold.
mixed on that. I'm a Southern girl. I
No
have
calls
very-
today. No calls today. I don't want to take any
Okay.
calls today. You can ask
This is
your
about just
questions.
me and you?
Ask your questions and comments. I want to go over this without any interruptions. We might take calls in another show about this. I want to talk about how can I persist a woman. Let's say I'm reaching up 10 levels. I'm
Okay.
ugly, I'm short, fat, but I want this hot chick. You've seen that guy before, right?
Oh yeah, there's lots of them.
And then if you're a woman, how does a woman pursue a guy and get that guy, get his attention? Okay, I want to go through the steps.
Okay, but first of all, I want to say something. You tell me if you think this is true or not. I think that women are less judgmental. I mean, yes, we want someone who looks good and all that kind of stuff, but I feel like if a man's heart is good and he makes her laugh and she feels comfortable and secure, I think women, generally speaking, can look beyond certain maybe outpoints physically than, let's say, a man. I think a man has an idea of like, he wants this chick to look that way, and he basically doesn't like stray too far. I mean, is that true or false?
That's completely false. Okay.
Okay. Well, that's what I get from like a general sense of magazines and what I think guys want.
Most every guy I know strays way away from what he wanted.
Because he loves the chick.
And then gets married and then strays again from what he wanted.
Well, that's a bummer.
And then people just stray. They stray away from their goals, their dreams, their ideal situations. And but
if they got it from the get-go, you think they wouldn't stray as much?
No, I think people stray in life. It's not about a relationship issue. It's about people stray. They see throughout their life, they stray. They continue to get distracted by things they don't want because they quit on the things they do want. So I think the first step for me in finding the right person, because this was a bigger problem for me than finding financial success in my life. Finding you was harder than finding $1 million. The first thing I had to do was I had to know what I wanted. What do I want? Okay, I actually had a picture of you in a book in this ideal. We did that ideal life thing
at 10X seminar.
Yeah, down in Mexico, and we had everybody draw out a vision board. Right. Well, you were already on my vision board. Now, not exactly you, but so close to you.
I've seen the picture. She does look a lot like me.
Yeah. Or you look like her.
And she was in a jewelry. It was black and white.
Now, some people could say that I actually quit on her and just took you as leftovers.
Damn. I don't want them to say that.
Right. So when I met her, I'm like, okay, now how do I track this down? Okay. This is no different.
How do I track it down? You act like I'm in a jungle.
Dude, I'm hunting. I'm a killer.
Okay, you're a tracker.
I'm a killer. And what's interesting is the first thing that actually distracted you from being interested in me was this idea that I was the rich guy that just got whatever I wanted, and you didn't want to be my hoe.
No,
I mean,
I did not want to be your hoe, but also I have one story to tell that really turned me off about you. In the very beginning.
Oh my God!
When I went to acting class. There was a cone, an orange cone that we saved for the teacher spot out front. The teacher was like, oh, the holy God grail guy, and you came, you were friends with my friend Erica. You were in her car. You were in her car. She was in your car. Anyway, you pull up in your Mercedes and your two-door sports car, your SL 500, and you're like, and you literally rolled over the orange cone and parked in a spot. And like everyone was running around trying to get you out of the spot, and you were like, screw him. And I was like, I looked at you and I was like, who is so disrespectful that would do that?
I knew she was in love with me at that moment. Right there. That's what told me, I'm sleeping with this. But man, you're going way past.
You had to wait another year and a month.
You've gone so far past where I'm at. Okay? Look, there's a strategy here, okay? Find what you want. Now you got to make contact. Simply make contact, okay? So I'm just going to write that down, make contact.
That's like your entrance.
I called her.
In the theater, they're like, make an entrance. That was definitely making an entrance.
That's long after. You're getting way ahead of what's happening here, okay?
Okay, well, then back me up.
I find what I want. I make contact. You refuse me. Okay, you hated the call.
Well, this is the thing. We're going to take this up when we come back from a break. Stay tuned, whatever it takes.
And the third thing I'm going to have to do is figure out how do I continue to follow up with her even though she doesn't like what I've done. Stay with us. This is Grant Cardone and Adelina Cardone. You're watching the G&E Show.
Grant Cardone saved my business.
About 6 months ago, I found Grant Cardone on YouTube, and I instantly liked what he was saying. I wanted to know how to go out and get the sale. I wanted to know when I wanted money, how to turn the faucet on and get money. I call that money on tap, and Grant Cardone taught me how to get that stuff.
Whatever it takes, do what you got to do, go get it, what you want in your business and in your life.
I need a new guru, somebody who's really up to date and modern, and that's when I found Grant Cardone, and that's when I found 10X.
Look, massive, 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 massive action. What are you waiting for? You're either going to have more or you're going to have less.
Make the decision, get committed, read the books, get to the seminars, take action.
If you're trying to build a massive brand, I think there's nobody better in the country than Grant Cardone.
Your time is now. Get your 10X book and audio today. Visit grantcardone.com/10X or call 800-368-5771.
Are you tired of missing sales? Come on, be honest. Are you getting all there is in the marketplace? Take an honest look in your mind's eye at your sales team right now. Are they doing everything they can to make that extra sale? If you're tired of watching your salespeople be tongue-tied, not follow up, not know their product, not know what to say at that critical moment, welcome to tiredofmissingsales.com. My name's Grant Cardone. I know your frustrations. Look, whether your people sell over the phone or in person, whether you sell a tangible or an intangible, I can increase the sales of any company by at least 15% guaranteed. Go to tiredofmissingsales.com and I'll show you the top 3 reasons your salespeople don't make those extra sales. Go to tiredofmissingsales.com.
Unlock the secrets to unlimited achievement and wealth. The Wealth Creation Kit is the ultimate program that shows you exactly how to take massive action in your life so that you can have the success that you want and deserve. Grant Cardone, New York Times bestselling author, entrepreneur, and international sales expert, provides the tools needed to shift your attitude into nonstop, positive action to help you find financial freedom. This kit includes 3 programs, a $4,000 value with over 10 hours of dynamic content delivered by Grant Cardone himself. Learn to dominate your market, follow the rules of success, and apply the 10X rule to every aspect of your life. Order yours at grantcardone.com/wealth or call 800-368-5771. That's 800-368-5771.
Thanks for tuning back into the G&E show. We've got Grant Cardone here with his strategy of how he tracked me down. So you're telling me you made contact.
There's no difference. If you want to create wealth, there's a strategy. If you want to get the hot chick, can you show me ugly? If you want to get the hot chick, if you want to get the hot guy, it's all the same, folks. If you want to sell a big client a $2 million.
She's gorgeous. Good
For instance,
Lord.
we just had somebody get on our wealth creation kit. Guy's on the program for 3 days. Then he calls up and says, hey, I want to get on your university. He said, this thing's changed my mind about everything. He's like, wealth isn't money. Wealth is everything. It's prosperity in every area. He calls up and says, I want you to put me on your university now. That's $2,000. He went from a $900 program, then bought a $2,000 program, made a $2 million sale 8 days after he got on the wealth creation kit.
Wow,
He's
that's
like,
impressive.
I said, was that a big deal for you?
And if someone wants to just subscribe to you on YouTube, how do they do that? At Grant Cardone, or is there like a / or something?
You just go to youtube.com/Grant Cardone and subscribe. It's
okay.
easy. They're probably already
So I want to
subscribed.
get back to this. So you made contact, and I remember you got my number from the director, Mitch Brisker. You call me. I'm very upset that he gave my number to you. Phone call was a disaster. Would you agree?
No.
That first call?
No.
Was
You
a
can't think- you can't-
disaster.
Listen to me. You
It
can't.
was a disaster.
For who?
For me.
Why? So you really wanted me.
I did not.
Look, if you think
I thought you were arrogant on the phone call. You're like, when people hang out with me, their lives seem to improve.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And I was like, who
news
is this
notice.
schmucky mug?
News alert.
I didn't
News
realize
alert.
in the end it was true.
Elena.
And then I never spoke to you again for how long?
News alert. Till the next time I called you. News alert. If you think any one phone call is a disaster, you are freaking hallucinating. If you judge phone calls as disasters, oh my God, that went terrible. You do not understand there's a process here.
Well, no, I didn't understand there was a process. So we
I
hang up from that phone
I didn't think
call.
I was going to make a call. You were going to leave your Hollywood apartment, 400 square foot apartment, drive to La Jolla and jump in the jacuzzi with me and have me for dinner. I didn't think that. I thought I was making a contact, okay?
Okay, you made a contact.
You
I'll
make
give
one
you
contact.
That. Continue.
Good. I make one contact.
That was
Now I
one
got to
phone
come up
call.
with a strategy. Look, do I want this person? Here's the deal. You have to decide what you want. This isn't a hooker. Okay? If I want a strip joint, if I want a freaking lap dance, that's a different deal. You call somebody up, hey, I got 200, give me a lap dance. Okay.
Okay, we get
that's
the
a different
visual.
deal. I'm trying to find my wife that's going to have my babies that I'm willing to marry without a freaking prenup. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, I never knew that was something we could say out loud. That's another show. Woo, woo. Okay, so you did what? First step, know what you want and go for
Look
it.
at that.
It only
Look at that.
takes
Look at that.
one, not two. Okay?
Takes one, not two.
It takes one, not two.
Now,
Number
now
two,
what I have
you
to do?
make contact.
I made a second call.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Elena, Grant Cardone, I'm down in La Jolla.
He got my
thinking about you.
voicemail.
I never talked to her again now for 13 months.
Mm-hmm.
But what started happening, Elena? It's not a disaster.
Continue.
How long we been married?
10 years.
You dumbass. I got
now
what I wanted.
hate myself because I'm wrapped around his little finger. What happened to me?
What happened? Okay. Hey, if you feel sorry for Elena, please put in the comments that you feel sorry for her as her new toy gets delivered to her.
Ooh.
Hey, so what happened? What did you notice started happening over the next weeks?
So then over the next weeks, you started showing up places
I
at all the clubs I was at.
I remember.
You
Slow down. Slow down, man. First time you saw me now
You
was
said
at the
speed is
Celebrity
power,
Center
isn't it that?
for lunch.
Yes.
I walked in over there. I'm having lunch. And what do? You throw your hair over
threw
your
my hair?
do it right now. Show
Okay.
everybody how you did it to hide from me.
Okay.
Because now I've left 3 or 4 phone calls for her. And she tries to cover up.
You
I'm
see
like,
this wall of hair?
Now,
If
how do
you're
you
over
handle
here,
this?
You cannot see the face.
now, guys, how do you
So
handle
hair?
this? Well, turn your head away
Hair-
from the camera.
Well, but the camera gets
Elena,
that I'm a
turn
wall
your
from
head
you.
to the right. That's what you saw.
Okay,
So
so-
she's trying to hide from me, right?
And
I got it.
walked clear out.
Okay. Now, what does that tell you? You're a guy trying to pursue this person, and now they're covering up. You made 3 or 4
You
phone
didn't
calls
see me
now.
that day.
Yeah, I did see you.
Not through the wall, not through the hair wall. You didn't.
Yes, I did.
Okay, go
Elena, I
on.
saw you. Jesus, how do you know what I saw? My God. Okay, folks, let me just tell you, every time I have these frustrating moments, I'm like, oh my God, man, how did I marry this? Okay, I need to remember.
This is what you wanted, baby.
I need to remember. This is what I
wanted, baby.
It comes, you know.
This is what you
even
wanted.
apples go bad, bananas go bad, okay? But in marriage, you can't go back to the store and say, hey, I need a new banana, okay? Because it's just
wrong.
they're gonna
Okay,
go.
go
They're
on.
gonna go bad too, right? So, and I'm not perfect. That's what I tell myself. So here we are. Then what did you notice a month later
Oh, I like this
at
little
the club?
sexy
At
pose
the club,
you're doing
at
to
your
me
boys'
now.
club. I didn't know you had slept with him,
Well-
by the way.
What? Good Lord.
What's his name?
Chris Breed.
Chris Breed, big restaurant owner,
All right.
all over LA, owns restaurants. And then notice what happened. Who did I walk in with?
With one of my best friends at the time, Erica.
This is an Italian strategy, just so you guys know. Okay, you want to use this Italian strategy if you're ever in Italy and you
Walks
approach
in with
the
her.
hot
He's
chick.
doing the hooky kooky with
No,
her.
If you approach a hot chick, you approach.
Which made me happy, by the way, because then
Concetta.
I knew,
Concetta, and you're like,
why are you
oh my
bringing
God,
your mom to
the little
this?
Italian girl, she's very hot. I'm gonna go approach her, right? Do not talk to Concetta, the hot chick, Connie, without talking to her friends. You need to actually show more
Infiltrate the
attention.
friends?
Show more attention to the friends than Connie. So now I'm pulling my Italian
Which only
strategy on
made, whatever you think happened, it only made it okay for you to be in the circle because you were doing the boom, boom, boom with the boom, boom with the Erica girl.
So I start hanging out with her friends. This is strategy, man. It's all strategy. And I actually start talking to her friend Erica. Hey, what's the deal? I called her up, man. I'd lightly ask, like, hey, what's the deal? Why didn't she like me? What's the deal?
Y'all were just friends with benefits. Anyway, so Erica tells me one day, she's like, while she's with Grant, I mean, this is how sick this is. She's like, why don't you go out with him? I don't get it. I was like, that is disgusting. That is like gross. Like, don't ever talk to me about him. You're, ew.
Because it was one of those relationships. You guys have been in this relationship where you're dating somebody, but it's not going to really go anyplace.
Okay, so
and we knew it,
But the thing was, okay, so part of your strategy
She was hot,
worked.
though. She was hot.
She is hot. What
She
are you
is
talking about? Okay, so and she caught the bouquet at our wedding.
And by the way, I'm still calling Elena once a month, twice a month, every month.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how you doing? Just thinking about you. I haven't had a return phone call. I have literally not talked to a human being since the first phone call.
That's true. But you know what? It wasn't stalking.
I'm going out with other women.
Voicemails, but you never like showed up like alone, like watching me when I parked my car.
You don't know that. You don't know that. I knew where
that
you
is
lived.
so creepy.
Yeah, you don't know that. Dude, I thought about you all the time, okay? And it was killing me. It was eroding. It was killing
Should we tell him
my...
the story? Okay, go on.
I'm like, man, she's my chick, man. She's the one. So I keep telling myself, I have to keep selling myself on staying committed to the dream. I'm like, okay, you just got to figure a new creative way. So this is what I'm telling you guys right now. First of all, don't give up. Okay, I don't care what you look like, how short you are, you're broke, it don't matter. My money turned her off. My success turned her off, okay? For whatever
Your
neurotic
arrogance.
reasons, okay? Then I'm like, okay, just keep making contacts. Then I found out that you like to shoot guns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was ranked 10th in California, sporting clay and trap.
And notice you starting
with
to
a
see me
12
more and
gauge.
more often in these places. I'm starting to see her more and more often. She's still not interested. I'm not taking it personal. I'm not getting emotional. I'm staying very rational. And I make a phone call one day. Hey, Elena, I heard you like to shoot guns. Voicemail. I heard you like to shoot guns. Hey, I rented a place out for us to go shoot. I got nobody to go with. I got a bunch of guns, a bunch of ammo. Give me a call back if you're interested. Never made a wrong over the 26 phone calls. Always kept it light and friendly.
You know, I kind of saw, okay, he's okay. He's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah. How you going to do it
So I
now?
made the phone call. Shooting
So
guns.
what's your strategy?
Let's go.
What's your strategy? Okay, what's your strategy? Do you have a strategy? Do you have an ideal scene? How many phone calls are you willing to make? How much follow-up are you willing to put in? I never got emotional.
No.
Stayed rational.
Never made me wrong. Never got angry. Continued to persist. Even when we started hanging out, when you ended the Erica Friends with Benefits, we started hanging out. The more you didn't push me. You weren't like trying to get the sucky face on thing. You
That's
just
right.
you were just my friend. You were patient. And you know what? The more you were just in front of me, the more and I was so scattered back then,
Yep.
like shh,
So
like so
here-
scared.
here-
And
one
you were just
question before
there.
we
And
end.
all of a sudden, you became very sexy to me, and you were stable. And I was like, wow, I'm looking at a man who actually loves me. I don't think I've ever had that in my life. And that was the turning point where you talked, when you turned from stalker to
What?
stud.
That's it, baby. That's it. How do you persist without being a
And on
pest?
our wedding day, there was stuff, issues.
That's
while
another
I was
topic.
crying
Another topic,
during
another
my
time.
vows, and I said thank you.
I challenge
for
you guys.
seeing me when I couldn't see us.
I challenge you to write down your ideal partner. Okay. If
Okay.
you don't have that partner right now, if you're already in a relationship, you need to make it work like you wanted her or him when before you had him. Okay. If you're single and you're looking for that special deal, okay, whether you're doing dating sites or out in the clubs or asking a friend, look, decide what you want. If you're not sure what you want, you're going to keep looking. Get clear on what you want and then persist without being a pest. It's all a sale.
You can
man.
be a pest,
It's all a
just
sale.
not stalker.
It's
Don't
all a
cross
sale.
the line. Don't get weird.
It's all about
Don't be
selling.
peeking in windows when she's taking a shower.
You
That's
could.
crossing a
You
line.
could.
That's
Just don't get
stalker.
caught. It's not stalking if it works. Every week, G&E show comes to you talk about relationships, marriage, business. When the two worlds collide, how do you keep holding on to it? How do you keep it right, keep it bright?
Mm-hmm.
And how do you keep it sexy? Thanks for joining us today. Hey, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you put your comment in about this show and any other shows you might want to hear
Make sure
about.
you
And don't do this in
follow
public.
me
People will think you're freaking
at
whacked.
Elena Cardone. Oops. Boy, I have to work on my weather girl skills.
Hey, be great, folks. Okay, be great. Your relationship depends on it.
Unlock the secrets to unlimited achievement and wealth. The Wealth Creation Kit is the ultimate program that shows you exactly how to take massive action in your life so that you can have the success that you want and deserve. Grant Cardone, New York Times bestselling author, entrepreneur, and international sales expert, provides the tools needed to shift your attitude into nonstop, positive action to help you find financial freedom. This kit includes 3 programs, a $4,000 value with over 10 hours of dynamic content delivered by Grant Cardone himself. Learn to dominate your market, follow the rules of success, and apply the 10X rule to every aspect of your life. Order yours at grantcardone.com/wealth or call 800-368-5771. That's 800-368-5771.